we were just discussing with Matt Light, our guest this morning. By the way, you were a great guest on the old show. You're always a great. You're come in anytime you want. We don't do this enough, Matt Light. You are welcome here anytime.
We have a lot of history.
I was talking about how Bill O'Brien will join us every Thursday during the NFL and college football season on this show. And you brought up that one of the things that you did to Bill O'Brien was call him from Bill Belichick's phone.
Yeah, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is why my wife doesn't want me to go out in public.
See, if you give me this info,
yeah, Greg's gonna let it.
I can ask Bill O'Brien about it next week.
Yeah. No, yeah, and you should. Yeah, Billy O, man. By the way, fireball. I love you, Billy. Love you, Billy.
He was one of those coaches who would actually yell at guys, though, and that's a real problem.
Yeah, you got to temper yourself these days if you're weak and weak-minded, or you can just do it like we used to do it and win championships. But okay, so I don't know. Call me
You'll
old
get
fashioned.
canceled now with that.
He's a meanie. He seems like he's a real meanie, like that Brian Flores.
Right. Well,
Brian Flores was yelling at Tua left.
Isn't that
and
crazy?
Right. Isn't that awful?
Yeah. A lot of therapy. It's amazing what happens when you're actually passionate and care. Right? It shows up like you're a jerk. Weird. Anyway, so Billy, we were. It was after the Pro Bowl, and our staff was there coaching. Bill and the staff were coaching the Pro Bowl
in Hawaii
because we lost the AFC Championship game, right? Because that's what happens. Yeah. And it's the one time I remember looking over, and they had this dinner after the Pro Bowl, and there's all of our assistant coaches, and they're all hanging out, and they're all laughing, and they're all having a good time, which does not happen during the entire season, ever.
Yeah.
Right? And it was cool, and I remember looking at it, and I'm like, well, where's Bill? Oh, Bill's not there. So I had this app where I could call somebody and make it look like it came from someone else. And so, if you have, let's say you have your significant other in your phone stored under Honey Boo.
Right.
It's going to come up Honey Boo if you know her number.
Right.
So I called his number from Belichick's cell phone, and he literally, and at the table, I watch him pull his phone out and look at it and red button it. And I'm like, oh my God. So I called him again, and he red buttoned me, and then he showed some of the guys, and he red buttoned it again. And then I left a message, and I was like, look, what are we doing? We can't line up, right? We can. And I'm like dogging him about the Pro Bowl, like the most ludicrous thing you could ever do, right? Like it actually mattered. He gets up because now he sees he has a message, and he's like, oh, I better find out what Bill's doing. And we walk out and watch him, and he's walking back and forth, and he's pacing, and he's like,
listening
and I'm like,
to the message.
And then Logan looks at me, and he's like, Light, what if he calls Bill back and starts dog cussing him for the stupid message you left, and he gets fired? Like, that wouldn't be funny. I'm like, that would be amazing. Are you kidding me? No, I didn't want that to happen.
Did he call Bill back?
Yes, he called him back, and Bill was getting on a plane or something, and put him. He's like, all right, look, hold on for a second. And then the whole time he was pacing, Bill was like getting his luggage or doing whatever, and then he gets back on. He's like, all right, look, when we get back in, let's bring so and so in for an interview, and hung up. And I find all this out after I go back to the table. I'm like, hey man, what were you doing? You talking to Bill? He's like, yeah. He's like, he left me a message, and I called him back, and I'm like, oh, he did, huh?
Matt was King Prankster, if you don't know.
That's unreal. So good.
That's great. I don't understand how you survived all of these things.
I don't need it.
Because you were good.
That's what the wife said, too.
All right. We've got to take a break. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We'll get to the rest of the news. Are you what time do you have to?
I ruin everything.
No, you really don't. You add a lot.
The stories are amazing.
Yes.
And now we can ask Bill O'Brien about it.
Between Matt and Ty Law, the stories are amazing.
Great
Ty's the greatest.
Ty is the greatest.
Oh, the best.
He's the best.
Not good for your liver.
Now we just need to bring Big Rod Rutledge into it. And the stories will be even better.
The Mothman Prophecy.
Who is emergency top 5 quick? If you had to pick your 5 favorite teammates
on an island,
11 years.
Oh, listen, Matt Cassel's going to be there, guaranteed. Oh man, Matt.
Okay.
By the way, one of the funniest human beings on earth.
Matt Cassel.
I got to have Logue and I got to have Cope just because we survived a lot together.
Dan
you
Cope
know what I'm
and
saying?
Logan Mankins.
Yep, and then
BC guy Courtney, Dan Cope,
and my man Sammy Morris, Sammy the Bull. Because he is like, man, he's like the OG of life. He's got special powers. And then you know what? I'm gonna throw this one out there. There's a lot of defensive guys. It's not fair to do a top 5, but K Falk, come on, man.
Yeah.
You never have a bad day around K Feezy.
No.
Never ever, never gonna have a bad day.
You left somebody off the list there.
Oh, who's what?
12.
Number 12.
Oh, come on, man. No, listen. I mean, now listen. If I want a good manicure, and
Come on the aisle.
I mean, like I love busting his chops. He's a beautiful human. But like I like to do guy stuff and drink.
He doesn't like to do guys.
No,
stuff.
he doesn't. Like he's not gonna load up on sugar. Like, come on, man.
Early Brady would. Yes.
He's not going to have a good cheat day.
No, he's not gonna cheat day. Come
That's
on.
sad.
Crazy.
That's 2001 Brady.
All right, we'll be right back.